Hey everyone, so today we're going to be doing a demo on why you shouldn't use cheap shampoo. As our control, we'll be using our 11 shampoo, which is my standard that I always use. I'm not paid by them. I in fact pay to have them in the salon, but I like them a lot and that's who I use. So that's who we're going to use as the control. We're using a variety of cheap shampoos. We will be calling them out by brand. However, if they perform admirably, to my shock, then I guess they come out okay. And if they don't, well, I'm sorry, but I paid for these at local drugstores and I'm doing it in the most controlled circumstances I can, given that I'm not a real scientist and I don't even get to play one on TV. So in order to keep this as clean of an experiment as possible and to get the real results, I have already pre-done our swatches, which have been done on real human hair, donated by a kind client who was getting their hair done blonde. I took the swatches. I have actually colored them using Pulp Riot's, one of their reds. And I chose red specifically because it does bleed a lot, especially on the initial wash, which this is. We have already treated it as you would a Pulp Riot immediately upon being used. You don't use shampoo the first time like you rinse a Pulp Riot like color. So these have never been shampooed. They have only been colored. They have been colored with a deposit only color by one of the most reputable Vivid lines in the world. So if these shampoos can't handle it, they can't handle it. And I'm going to be controlling the water as well. Like, I'm not using my water. I'm going to be using bottled water. Yeah, I know it's not great for the environment, guys, but for the sake of science, let's do it. And to control it even further, I'm not using my glasses that have been washed in my dishwasher with my detergent. I am using plastic glasses from the dollar store that have never been used ever. And I'm also using plastic spoons from the dollar store. Yes, I know the environmental impact is terrible, but I assure you, these are all recyclable in my area and will be responsibly recycled after this video. So that being said, let's get into this. Okay guys, so we just soaked all of the shampoos into their respective glasses. We have now we've soaked all the shampoos in their respective glasses. We used about a teaspoon of each, which is far too much for anybody for their hair. But for the sake of this experiment, we wanted to use a lot. I can see from numerous glasses that some of them got quite frothy. Some of them actually were hard to remove the shampoo from the spoon. And now we shall see the final results. So I'm gently pressing on all of them, using my quicker picker upper, if you will. And as you can see, most of them have soaked really deep in the other side. Our little 11 guy though, he only did this. This is our 11 guy. This is what you're fighting against. So when we're looking at this and we're seeing these colors, we're seeing our 11 guy only gave us that much transfer, but everybody else gave us so much more. even in their underneath towel, we can see here's 11, he's our control. And bear in mind, this is like with Pulp Riot, and like Pulp Riot is like one of the ones that does leak a lot on first use because it is a deposit only color. But you see, he's still nice and bright red. Like I can see like he is definitely looking like his color. Actually smells better than he went in. Here is the coconut milk one. Oh my God, guys, it's still sudsing. It's still sudsing. It's still sudsing. It's still getting like pink all over my hand. Like it's still sudsing. He's not fully clean. So if this is in your hair, it means that since it's still sudsing, it didn't rinse out fully. He had the same amount of time as the 11, and the 11 rinsed out, but he didn't. And now we're down to Herbal Essence, where I can physically remove the color. And you notice how much pinkier he is? I don't know if this is coming through the camera, but I hope it is. And he's really stained around his towel. This guy over here is Dove, who I'm not surprised that he's doing this. Removing a fair bit of color. It is fairly pink. Because Dove is the same pH as water, which is 7, which sounds great until you realize that our hair is 4.5 to 5.5. Here we go, Pantene. Okay, he's still really sudsy. Not as bad as I would have thought. He's definitely not as bad as the Dove in the Herbal Essence. Still pretty bad when you look at the stain on the towel compared to like our professional, but not as bad as I would have thought. Here we are, Tresemme. Not sudsing up as much as the others, but definitely experiencing some fadage. And it's worth noting that the Pantene and the Tresemme are the only ones that lost their elastics. I don't know what that means. I'm not a scientist, but I can only assume that it's some sort of coating in it. And here we are. We're now looking at the Head and Shoulders. Head and Shoulders is not actually sudsing as much as the others, but it is sudsing redder somehow. And it's actually fairly pink compared to the others. Like I would be so upset if I took this home and did this to my hair because it would mean I ever had no hair. And here's L'Oreal. This is why even though it's in the drugstore, you shouldn't trust it just because it says a trusted brand name, because it's not. It's not what you paid for. Oh, and it lost its elastic too. And like it's actively still sudsy. So what does this mean, guys? And like, look how pink he is. He's so pink. He's so pink. Like, guys, for perspective, it's supposed to be red. It's supposed to be like red. And it shouldn't still be like actively lathering. It shouldn't. The 11's not. And also, when you look at the towel doesn't lie. Here's 11, all by itself, not transferring that much. Here's the other guys, transferring tons. Yeah, the L'Oreal doesn't transfer as much, but we can see they all transfer a lot. So if you paid for those, you paid to lose your hair color. So end of the day, what's my take on the battle of the shampoos? Well, it's no surprise that 11 won. It's a professional shampoo. It is meant for your hair. It has a pH of 4.5 to 5.5 like all other professional shampoos. That being said, like, Pulp Riot is a vivid. It is a fashion color. All fashion colors are harder to keep in your hair. We'll go over that in another video though. But it is one of the best vivids out there. So the fact that 11 barely made it bleed, but meanwhile everything else was crazy bleeding, and for the record still lathering, and to stain my hands. Just putting that out there, just imagine that all over your shower. You don't want that. You didn't pay for that. You paid for your color. If you're gonna pay for your color, pay that little extra to make it last. Because the professional shampoo will go the distance every time, guys. every time. And listen to your hairstylist. You know what? Like, we're not trying to rip you off. We're not trying to sell you something. We're not just trying to line our pockets. We're trying to do this for you so that when we work on your hair for hours and it looks so awesome leaving the salon, it stays awesome. I want to run into you in the grocery store and think, damn, she's looking so good. Not, oh, she washed that in something she shouldn't have. Like, remember, I love your hair as much as you do. I want it to last forever. I want you to come in and it still be looking so fly. I want to come in and just be like, yeah, girl, we can just do a root touch and like just, you know, shimmy it down a bit. That's what I want. So we're not trying to sell you on expensive shampoo to break your bank. We're trying to save you. We're trying to save you money, because can you imagine having to come in earlier for your color because you use cheap shampoo? I don't want to imagine that for you. Please don't make me. I love you all. I will see you next video. Thank you for watching.